Hello everyone, new pickup video here. Big hello to all my new subscribers. I don't really know who you are because I no longer get email notifications for some reason, and the subscriber section on YouTube is really inaccurate. When I click to show me the newest subscribers first, one of them was Snestastic, and I've talked to Pete for years on here, so I cannot go by that. And because I always lose people whenever I make a video, farewell to a few of you. It's just kind of the ebb and flow of this. Not really sure what that says about me when people leave when I make one where I talk, but that tends to be how it goes. Going to show the non-gaming stuff first and then segue to gaming. I've done this before, but I rambled on too long and now it's really hot, so I'll only kind of touch on the highlights and anything I thought was a particularly good deal. First up, my birthday is coming up soon, and my wife was nice enough to let me open a present early, and that was the unofficial guide to Konami shooters. These books always get me to spend way more than I should, but fortunately I've got a number of these already. But of course it's always fun to see the different covers from different regions, learn the backstory, the mechanics, and so on. It's like their Castlevania unofficial guide to Sega Arcade. There's another one on adventure games, and I recently saw one about Bionic Commando and Strider, so that was neat to check that one out. But thanks so much for that. Did get one CD. I'm a big fan of synth music, of the style of sci-fi and horror movies from the late 70s to early 90s, so I picked up Night Satan in the Loops of Doom. This is the double pack with the DVD. Now this is PAL region, but I have a region-free player. Very raunchy. It's only about 20 minutes, but it is really over the top. It was recorded in Finnish and then overdubbed in Italian. A lot of fun if you're a fan of this style of music, as they call them, or someone's dubbed them, laser metal. Definitely give this a go. You can get this on Amazon for $18 with the movie, which is a really good deal because they go on eBay for about double that, or last I checked, double it, and then up into the 50s. This was also a very good deal off Amazon. Emperor, Prefects, and Kings. This covers the 5th century Western Roman Empire, covers its collapse in terms of government, and then contrasts that with the successor kingdoms, the barbarian kingdoms. It talks about what they kept, what they dropped, how they modified it, and so on. New copies of this go for $180. Used copies go for $30 on up. I got this for $2.33. There were two copies in the $2 range. One was $2.85, and I picked the absolute cheapest one for $2.33. Also had the better description. They were more accurate, and instead of just putting book used, they actually said slight yellowing or dust jacket, whatever. It turns out really good condition. So that is a bargain. All right, my washing machine broke a while back, so I had to buy one, of course. I put that on my Amazon card, and because of that, I get points that get converted into dollars to spend on Amazon. So I kind of got these free, which is the Konami Classics Volume 1 for the 360. I got it for Castlevania. Then I kind of bought Castlevania for the Saturn, so didn't really need it, but it's just nice to have it on disc. And I picked up Dawn of Sorrow. I couldn't figure out which one of the DS Castlevanias to get because I'd visit forum threads and each one of them would dominate. But this seemed to have the most positive feedback when I visited them all. When I was visiting all those threads, I should say. So I picked up those two. I also took advantage, well, I tried to take advantage of a Square Enix deal. I picked up these three. Problem is, I also ordered Dragon Quest V for $26, which is far cheaper than you can get elsewhere. That did not come. They refunded that. However, they did not refund my shipping. Because of that, I paid for shipping on 4 items and only got 3, and they refused to give me any more money back, which bumped the price of all of these up to where this was $10, I think $10.86. That was pretty much a going rate once you add shipping back in. Same with this one. This is Final Fantasy IV with the after years. However, this was still a few bucks off. Final Fantasy Tactics A2. But still, had I known, especially because this was not supposed to be a greatest hits. They have on their websites, if a title is greatest hits, this was listed as regular, and the disc is loose. So, yeah, I would have opted out of this had I known Dragon Quest wasn't coming. That's where the real savings was going to come. But, oh well. I've been wanting to play those anyway. This is actually really cool if you have a Turbo Duo or a PC Engine Duo. PC Engine Memories They put out these really nice but pricey re-releases. Well, recently they put out 2, and those had been fan translated. The rest had all been translated previously. They were titles that did come out here. And to my knowledge, these are the first 2 fan translated ones they put out. However, they did not ask for permission, and sometimes that's difficult because the people who were involved, the groups break up. Some people get out of doing it. Sometimes it's been 10 plus years. Well, for one of these, the guy is definitely still around, and he was very vocal in his irritation about this. He did get credit, and so did everyone else, but no money. So what the company did was said, we will give you free copies of these if you want them. They were trying to not only just build a little goodwill, but make the point that what they're selling is actually their time and the quality of the product itself, because these are factory press discs, and that's a very big deal because I've read that the Duo's laser does wear out, or especially now that they're older, but apparently burn games do a number on them. I've always read that. I've never had a laser go out, but I don't want to take that chance because they're so pricey. However, these are factory pressed. They give these to you absolutely free. They pay for shipping and everything. The only thing is you do not get the fancy packaging. And like I said, that's their way to say what you're paying for is an opportunity to play the games and the time for design, for shipping, for packaging, etc. We just want you to play the games, so take them if you want them, and they did, and this is awesome. I have already ordered, I should say, this is Startling Odyssey 2 and Zax 3. I've ordered a copy of this. It's on the way, so I'll put this one in the case, and I'm still looking for a good copy of this one. From one seller, I got in, I don't have it here, I got Tales of Fantasia, but also Tales of Destiny, the import. However, I can't read Japanese. I don't want that. If you want Tales of Destiny, the Japanese version, let me know. It's yours. I did that because it was really cheap for both of them, and this was the nicest, I think I said nicest, the nicest version on eBay. Comes complete. I got this because out of the various re-releases of Tales of Fantasia, it was a toss-up between this one and the PSP version. I don't really mess with the PSP, I guess you would call it like custom firmware scene, whatever, where you have to modify anything. I just have the stock operating system. I did when it first came out, but I just stopped messing with it. And this one would be much easier for me to modify. So it turns out the spine cart is a little dirty, but as you'll see, that kind of was a theme recently. So Tales of Fantasia. Again, Tales of Destiny import. If you're interested, let me know. Another import, Dragon Quest V. This was actually $1.25. That's why I got it. I originally saw that it had a fan translation. I thought the graphics looked pretty neat. Nice little visual upgrade. And then I bought something else from the seller. So this was really just to help with shipping because you don't want to just buy one thing. You like to get a few things to make it worthwhile. And at $1.25, why not? Also comes complete with 2 discs. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I haven't, I've put it in, but I haven't tried the translated version yet. Let's see. A few PS1 games. Tobal number 1. I put footage up recently of Tobal number 2. That one in particular lost a few subscribers, which guess I was not as good as I thought. Well, actually, that was a pretty rough video, so I am not surprised. I did do another one where I narrated the story mode, or I should say quest mode of part 2. That averaged about 5 minutes of viewing out of 15 views, so kind of made me question whether I should just toss those up, put some ads up, and retire. That's some YouTube money right there. But I did get the itch to play the first one again. I owned this way back when, so I grabbed this for $10. Another $10 pickup, Beyond the Beyond. I say that because I was following 3 of these. I was surprised when I got it for 10, but then afterwards one went for 30 and the other one went for a little higher, a little like high 30. So I was really surprised at that. However, there is a bit of discoloration right here and it's textured. Sent the seller a question asking if he knew what it was, because in general I find that's the best way to kind of get the ball rolling on if you have a problem, you bring up there's a problem instead of just immediately hammer the person. He didn't offer anything, which at $10 I'm not surprised, but he did tell me a pretty funny story that one day he was playing his PlayStation and it froze. He tried to play it again, it froze. He immediately unplugged it, put his PlayStation, all of his games in a box, took it to the attic, went to the mall and got an N64 and never played his PlayStation again. which I'm really glad he shared that. I like the mental image of someone just shaking their head no, ripping everything out of the wall, dropping it, and taking it out. But beyond the beyond, another PlayStation title, Metal Slug, comes complete. Although there is some scuffing on the manual. It's from Yamatoku Classics on eBay, and they'll do that. They'll put a letter grade with it, and they'll take photos. Well, you'll see the photo, and if it's not obvious damage, you kind of wonder what the letter grade's for. But then when you get it, there's always a little bit of scuffing or something. I've also noticed that those prices are going up, and they hold auctions, so that's people driving the prices up. So I probably won't be buying from them for a while, but this was not bad. I got this because they had a sale. If you spent so much money, you got 10 or 15% off. Or no, sorry, it's 30% off. So I picked up Metal Slug 1 for the PlayStation 1. And a Super Famicom game. I'll show that in a sec. 2 Saturn imports I've been wanting for a while. Finally ticked off the list. Waku Waku 7. I've wanted this for ages. I've been wanting the MVS version, but it doesn't come up too often, and when it does, it's really expensive, so I decided to settle on the Saturn version. Same with Samurai Showdown 4. Been wanting it, and it's not too bad on the MVS, but this was $20, so, went with the cheaper version. And those come up enough to where if I'm a big fan, I'll go ahead and just pick it up. And speaking of MVS, I grabbed 2 titles, was not expecting to pick up any, but I got the Karnov's Revenge, and what is this, Fighter's History in the US? Really good deal on this, $30 shipped with the shock box. I was talking to Shock 16 about these. These come from Southtown Homebrew. Now, all of mine have black on the top, but this seller, all his had white. It does have a little tear on the side here because the plastic is starting to tear, but I mean, that's good enough. If it rips all the way, I'll just get another one. They run about $18, but if you buy a few at a time, the shipping goes down considerably. Shipping is a large chunk of why it's $18. But this is Karnov's Revenge. It's all... Ooh, that's a loud noise. You'll see the little SNK sign there. To me, both of these seem authentic. I checked it at Got Walls. So, Karnov's Revenge. Another one, again, wasn't expecting it, was Double Dragon. Now, something is up with shipping from Canada because the cart was only $25 and I got the bill and it was $40. It was $15 to ship this from Canada, and it took longer than other items I purchased after that from Japan. So I am not sure what's going on with Canadian shipping. Cleaned these up already, although there was a massive dead spider in this one that scared the shit out of me. Thought it had moved when it was just kind of wind sucking it and moving it. In any event, Double Dragon. And this is what all my shock boxes look like. They got the dark top. This art is not good, but none of the art uploaded at Southtown was good. So I got the one I thought was the best. You know it's rough when the best is still something you look at and kind of shake your head at. Few Genesis titles. Forgotten World. Yeah, you can see it on this, how there's a rippling here. Well, I could not tell when I bought it, but it is heavily water damaged, and there's actually mildew on the other side. Got in touch with the seller after some back and forth. He decided to give me all my money back, but I then sent him back his shipping just so he wouldn't be completely out. Manual's in great shape, though. There is a tear right here, which I knew about. Cart looks great. But yeah, this is heavily water damaged. Fun game. I completely forgot that it's not compatible with the 6-button controller, and I initially thought something was wrong when you get through the main menu, and then you start the game and you immediately die if you have a 6-button controller plugged in. Just sitting there going, what in the hell is wrong with this? They kept cleaning it, and then I realized, oh, I'm a dumbass. But Forgotten Worlds, I would like to get a replacement for this, but I haven't seen one in really mint shape yet. Gunstar Heroes, loved this growing up, but I was only able to rent it. Finally got it. Manual's a little bent up, but the only thing is, and this is the case with the other game right here I'm about to show, is apparently the glue Sega used back then bleeds through labels, so they're a little dark. But I got the itch to play this after I grabbed the Game Boy Advance version. I have footage of that up. And of course, great game, a lot of fun. I did want a replacement cover because this has a little water damage here and some wear on the spine. However, the replacements were actually in worse shape than this, so I'll just, if I see one, I'll grab it. And finally grab Shinobi 3. Getting one with a manual in decent shape has proven to be a giant pain. Again, this label has some of the glue bleeding through, but I always put my manuals backwards to help flatten them because the front tends to be where the dents are. Is there anything more 90s than a ninja on a hovering surfboard. I don't know. I guess it cannot be a hoverboard and a surfboard, but it looks like a jet propelled surfboard or rocket propelled, whatever you want to say. Look at that. There's nothing more 90s than that. Now, last up is some Super Nintendo Famicom editions. I think there's one behind me. Let me grab it real quick. All right, Star Fox. This was not bad. It was $30 complete, in great shape. A little wear on the corners, but that's to be reflecting there. That's to be expected. Didn't really get to play this a lot when I was younger. A neighborhood kid had it, and I was on. I was pretty friendly with him, but it was his brother's, and I could not stand his brother. So I got a few minutes with it, and just enough to tease me, because when you saw the polygons back then, you're wondering, what is that? That doesn't look like Mario. What is this? Was this magic on TV? But yeah, I think it still holds up well. I like how there's a slight perspective shift on the ship. Unlike something similar to, say, Galaxy Force, where the camera is directly behind the ship, this one allows the ship to kind of shift to the side a little. So it looks a little, there you go, it looks a little more exciting, I think. But yeah, holds up well, a lot of fun. Also got in Mystic Quest. This has the map and everything included. Been cleaning off the rest of the sticker residue. I know it's not the greatest role-playing game, but it was cheap and complete, and I've been trying to grab as many role-playing games as I can. This was $20 shipped. Tetris Attack. Wasn't sure if I was going to grab it. Then I read some reviews, and apparently, at least at the time, it got really high marks, saying it was one of the better Tetris variations out there. And I have Tetris probably 3 or 4 different consoles. Favorite so far being, aside from the original, the DS Tetris. Love that one. So I got Tetris Attack. And for the Super Famicom, one more. Doom 64. This rounds out my N64 collection. I've been wanting this one for ages. It's kind of tough to find one in really good shape. And this is in decent enough shape, I'd say. Comes complete. However, a little bit of wear. But what are you going to do? I was actually wanting maybe Mischief Makers, but aside from that, I've got about 3 N64 games, and I'm pretty much done with that. So, thank you, Doom. Alright, now on to the Super Famicom. First up is Live Alive. This came complete. However, that and Breath of Fire 2, this was $8.99. I have no clue why people didn't buy it. I checked sold listings, and those went for the 20 to 30 range, but this was $8.99 with $4 shipping. But those two are currently off being patched for the English fan translations. In anticipation of that, I ordered Dark Half, and before it came in, Aeon Genesis finished the fan translation, so I'll be sending this off shortly. This came from Topai or Tokai Exports. It looks like they're either American, Australian, or British. I'm not sure. But they seem to live in Japan and opened up a little business. I've only seen a picture of one of the people. That's why I'm not sure where they're from originally. But they seem to be like a few other people who set up shop over there and export out to people wanting imports. That's kind of common sense what I said, but it didn't come out well. Basically, they're grabbing really good copies of imports, marking them up a few bucks, shipping them off. This was a great deal, though. This has to be one of the best conditions of any game I've ever had. Everything looks brand new. Immaculate. I also got in Dracula 4. This one was the other one with Metal Slug, part of a sale. It's fading, though. Kind of rough shape, but I knew that. I just wanted to get to playing it. This has a few bits that are uncensored, so I was eager to try that. And lastly, this is called Battles in Deku or something. A little disappointed. This is really the only time I've been truly disappointed by a Japanese seller. I get it in, and this game is filthy. If you can see the brown, all that is dirt. There's price tags. All that discoloration is kind of this film I can't get off of it. I looked at the picture of it, and this thing is immaculate. Sent the guy a message. All he said was, "Picture is old," and he put a frowny face. So that did not do anything for me. That's truly the only time I've got something from a Japanese seller. I just want a single tear come down my cheek. I can't believe it's finally happened. I've met an irresponsible Japanese seller. But this is a platformer that has a fighting engine similar to a Streets of Rage, or what's the Streets of Rage? Final Fight. One of those. It's that kind of fighting style. It's one of 3 characters. Unfortunately, it's single player only, but it is a lot of fun. This just burns me up. Look how filthy that is. All that brown. Yeah. But happy to have it. Not happy with the condition. And that is everything. If anyone wants to see gameplay footage from any of this or more information on it, just let me know. And as always, thank you for watching.